Marco, 98 caps for the rugby, 64 consecutive caps, still a record for them, we understand. Also made 53 appearances for Australia as well. And then Leo, okay. He won a lot of things, folks. Next time to get through the list. A Celtic League, an EDF Energy Cup, Guinness Premiership, Magners League, 2 back-to-back Pro 12 titles, and 3 Heineken Cups. This will be grand, I just keep doing that all year, right? That's right. Absolutely. Marco, we want to start with you. Leo obviously didn't have to move that far to take up his coaching post from the field into the coaching box. What was it that convinced you to come here to Leinster? What did you know about us before?
I've got a long association with Matt. Matt and I played together right through when we were 10-year-olds, all the way through. We played a lot of our junior rugby together, as well as a lot of our senior rugby together. And I also asked a few people about Leinster. Obviously, people like Rocky Elson who spent some time here, like Chris Whittaker, those type of guys, and I've always had a look at Leinster. I've got pay TV at home and watched the triumphs of Leinster and watched Leo lifting up the Heineken Cup on a few occasions. So when you get an opportunity to come and join a rugby environment like Leinster, it's probably one that you don't really need to mull over too long. It was a great opportunity. You know, the class of players on the roster is very good. You know, you saw tonight. We've got a couple of injuries at the moment with the front rowers. So tonight we had to try out a couple of the academy lads, and they were outstanding. So for me, it's equally it's exciting working with the community. Jack McGrath, but equally, it's equally exciting for me working down the next tier down with the Tiger Furlongs, and the Ed Byrne, the Brian Burns, those type of calibre players as well.
Lads, I suppose Leinster have always had a reputation of developing fantastic young back players, but how pleasing for the two of you in your current job is it to see such a wonderful group of young forwards coming through, finishing the Byrne twins and Ty Furlong finishing out the game tonight in the front row. It's fantastic to see for all of us. How is it getting to work with them?
It's hugely rewarding. Like we see how hard they work day in, day out. The Ty Furlong and the Byrne twins in particular, they work very, very hard. They're very hungry and they want to make a real fist of it. They don't take the opportunity to pull the Leinster jersey on lightly. They treat it very seriously, and for me it's very rewarding to see them out there, close out the back end of the game when we're under pressure, and for them to come out and deliver, for me it's hugely rewarding.
And Leo, for you, having played with a lot of the younger guys as recently as last year, what's it like to get to close to them now?
Yes, it was one of the main attractions I think of the job for me was, you know, you see the quality of the players that are out there, and I think we're very fortunate. Obviously, Leinster as a club is very fortunate. All the work that goes into the schools and into the various clubs and the youth systems as well. So, you know, Mark mentioned some of the guys that were out there tonight, but we're very, very lucky. A lot of good young guys coming through, and I think one of the most pleasing things is the desire that they have to play for the team as well. You saw a little bit in the V&I last year. I was over in a game against Ponte, which was a pretty intimidating atmosphere for a lot of those young guys. But you know, you see the character that they have in a game that went to extra time, and you know the fight that they have, and the want that they have to play for Leinster and do well for Leinster. So yeah, it's hopefully exciting future ahead.
Yeah, it looks like a good future for the young lads coming through. Marco, just as a scrum coach, you're now going to have experience of seeing the scrummaging up here in Europe. How would you rate it compared to your previous experiences down at home?
Oh, there's no question there are some subtle differences. Super Rugby, generally speaking, is played in conditions very similar to tonight, on a dry field with a dry ball. It's played essentially the competition starts in the later months of summer. So the result of that is there aren't as many stoppages, so the ball's in play for longer. And typically you might get, you know, a dozen scrums per game. Over here, obviously the weather was good today, but as the course of the season goes on, the ball gets wetter. You know, the fields are boggier, so that in turn produces more stoppages. So for me, the difference is coming from a background in Super Rugby where you might get 12 scrums set per game to over here there's upwards of 20. So the contest for the ball is a lot more. The ball now under the new rules is in the scrum for longer periods of time. So that then your focus has really got to be around maintaining your form and making sure that the guys are on the job for a longer period of time. So we don't have the subtleties of Leo with 60 scrummaging variations on our menu, but what we try and do is make sure that, as you say, Leinster are renowned for a team that plays attacking rugby and uses the ball. So I see my role as being able to have a scrum that functions so that we get a decent position on the field. We're able to produce a good scrum that can deliver some really good balls that we can attack.
And I suppose what's been brilliant in recent times anyway is seeing that how the Leinster pack with you and Leo was able to kind of think their way around opponents, maybe players who were bigger and opposition teams, how you guys were still able to go toe to toe with them, maybe not having the physical size that those packs had. How important is it to have guys on the field who can think their way through different problems?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we pride ourselves on, being a little bit smarter than other teams. And you see, I suppose, during big games where we might pull a move that actually works under a pressure situation and based off a lot of analysis that we would have done and planning and preparation. So, yeah, listen, we always have to try to be a little bit smarter and use that as our competitive advantage. And yeah, like, you know, we've got guys that are smart, who work hard, and yeah, you know, we have to be adaptable, I think, because of the weather that we play in during the course of the season. You know, it's nice dry track out there at the moment, but when it comes December, January time, it's very, very different. And we go to some of the French teams as well, like, you know, we're giving away 7, 8, 10 kilos a man as well. So we certainly have to be adaptable and, yeah, like, trying to think as much as we possibly can.
And just noticing, of course, the bench is so vital in the modern game these days, and probably none more so than in the prop positions, both at loose head and tight head. We had a question that was sent in to us. Is a prop's fitness condition these days to last for the hour, with the guy being able to make an impact then for the last 20 minutes, or are they expected to go for the full 80 and just hit the switches made?
Look, there are very few that can go the full 80. The energy systems now with the new laws around scrummaging, the ball actually sits in the scrum for a lot longer, so it's more of an aerobic sort of energy system that they're using, as opposed to a year or two ago when there was a big crunch on the engagement. It was more about the fight. So that sucks a lot of energy out of you. So generally the younger guys can generally go for a little bit longer, but 40 minutes comes around at an opportune time for most of the guys, and it's very rare that you see props, particularly tight head props, being able to play 80 minutes. So it's very important that you have 4 good props in your match day 23. Your stronger, more experienced props start the game and are able to absorb those early exchanges and the heavy hitting and whatnot. And generally, the props that you bring on later on are the ones that you want them to be able to not only hold up the scrum, but also get out there and make their tackles and carry the ball for you as well.